webinar on the IRSC certification. Today with us, Mr. Krithivasan sir is there, who is an expert in this field, who will be talking on the certification. I welcome all the participants for this long-awaited webinar. Good lot of doubts will be there in the mind of the people. What is IRSC? What is IRSC certification? And what is IRSC license? What is the process for IRSC certification? And what is the process for IRSC licensing? What are the benefits of certification? What are the benefits of licensing? How to obtain a certificate? How to obtain a license? Good lot of questions will be there in the mind of the people. We are lucky to have Mr. Krithivasan sir with us. This is the second in series on our Railway Academy platform, where we are conducting the webinar followed by a detailed 40 hours of training. During this 90 minutes of the webinar, Krithivasan sir will be talking on the IRSC certification. The webinar is on IRSC certification. However, he will also touch on the licensing. What is the main difference between these two? And present situation, our present webinar is on IRSC certification. I request all the participants to kindly mute, and you may have a good lot of doubts in your mind. Kindly go through the presentation by Krithivasan sir. Most of the doubts will be cleared during the webinar. However, after his 90 minutes presentation, you are welcome to ask the doubt. We will coordinate with you for clarifying the doubts through Krithivasan sir. At the end of the webinar, our marketing head, Mr. Sumit Kanu, will be talking on the dates from which we are starting this training of 40 hours of training on IRSC certification. What are the commercials? All these formalities will be done by Mr. Sumit Kanu. I welcome all of you again. I request again one and everyone to kindly mute and listen to Mr. Krithivasan sir. Krithivasan sir will introduce himself before starting the webinar. Now I will hand over to Krithivasan sir. Sir, kindly take.
Yeah. Good evening all. My name is V. Krithivasan. V stands for my father's name actually. So I am basically, if you are from India, then I am basically a Tamilian with a good knowledge of all the South Indian languages and including a few other languages like Hindi, Marathi and all. So I can speak overall 7 languages. I can understand and read 5 Indian languages. So this is a brief description. And I have worked in Indian Railways. I retired as a DST, that is a Divisional Signal Telecommunication Engineer. Way back in 2007, I took voluntary retirement. And then I joined private companies working for UK rail signaling for the past 15 years. And initially, my basic qualification is diploma in electronics. I did my diploma in electronics from Government Polytechnic in Hyderabad in 1978 and joined Indian Railways in 1980 as an apprentice signal inspector. And from there, I have had 7 level promotions and I retired as a TST in 2007. Now, working in Indian Railways, of course, systems have improved and there have been lot of improvements since when we joined initially, right from the type of signaling and right from the type of controls and right from the type of equipment and all that. So we have come a long way ahead and now it is mostly modernized. And if you ask me right now, I am in Sweden now with my daughter and grandson and son-in-law and likely to return back to India in November. I recently visited the Swedish capital, Stockholm, last week, and there I was traveled in metro also. And initially, incidentally, I came to know that the metros in Stockholm started way back in 1950, 1950, when Indian Railways were still with steam engines and other. A lot of improvement everywhere, and Indian Railways have also now come a long way ahead. So as Parvatikar sir has said, this lecture will concentrate on the IRSC, that is Institute of Railway Signal Engineers. So that will what it contains and what it does and how it is helping the signaling field, the persons in the signaling field to develop their competency and also certification, and how it enables them to have a very good market value and an assurance also to the persons who are employing them, saying that these are persons certified and competent to do a particular activity. And if you have any doubts, you can make a note of it. We have a question and answer session. Incidentally, after once the module explanation is over, then there will be a question and answer for module A, and then there will be another set of question and answers for module B, C, and D. And after that, lastly, about 10 to 15 minutes of my presentation, I'll be covering IRSC license. License is a bit different. IRSC modules are a bit different. And if you think that your question is very important, then you can interrupt me, though I will not much happy about it, but you can interrupt me immediately also. Okay. If you're not understanding anything, please interrupt me immediately. If you have doubts, then you can wait till the end of the presentation. Right. So shall we start? Hope you're able to see the slides.
Yes, sir. You can start.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, all. Yeah. Right. So this is my introduction. I have not given my designation and all that. All that is a bit of already it is there in the marketing slides. Right. So now quite a few people have joined, as I'm able to see. Everybody will have a different background, a different role, or a present assignment. So don't worry about your background and present role and assignment, but you see where you are able to sit in that IRSC requirements so that you can further improve your career and improve your analysis, improve your career competency and market value. You can be from the design field, you can be from the installation field, you can be from the management side, or you can be from anywhere. But IRSC has got competencies to measure whatever you are doing, whether you are doing it correctly, and it will certify to you that yes, he is following a certain process, and it can issue a license or a certification. So it can be design, it can be installation, it can be testing, or it can be validation, it can be verification, it can be even procurement also, procurement of materials. So even IRSC has got different levels of licenses for different assignments. So let us see what it does first. So for the present, what the main lecture concentration will be on IRSC modules. Now modules, these are some questions which has come in the marketing slide also. Who are eligible for IRSC module exams? What is the procedure and fees that will be taken up at the end of this lecture? What are IRSC modules? Who can attempt? How valid it is? How to prepare for IRSC module A, and what are the career prospects after qualifying it? And contents of the IRSC module A coaching program, duration of training, and question and answers. So this is the bullet points that we will be discussing one by one. Now, what is IRSC? Institute of Railway Signal Engineers. What is the advantage of IRSC? Industry standard and professional development. Now you would have seen there are a lot of doctors who are MBBS and MS and all that, and they have a lot of other designations written along with their name. You must have seen FRCS, FRMS, maybe lot and lot. Somebody would have 16 designations written by the side of his name. So it is not that he has qualified or he has passed all those examinations. It is only that FRCS meaning Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons. So like that, a signaling engineer also, whoever is working anywhere, he will have quite a few designations along with to say that he is a member, MIRSC, member of the Institute of Railway Signaling Engineer, or it can be AM IRSC, associated member. So like that, this can be a designation. Now, what is the importance of this designation? He is actually a member of this IRSC. That means he is aware of the IRSC rules, process, and also is up to date with the industry standards. So if anything new is invented in rail signaling, which is a part of the IRSC knowledge bank or knowledge group and all that, IRSC regularly conducts meetings, conducts briefings, and also issues monthly technical literature, which will come to you if you are a member. So you will come to know what is happening in other railways. You will come to know what is happening in different parts of the world. You will come to know railway projects. And at the end of the magazine also, there will be a vacancy list to say that these companies require competent signaling engineers with different fields. So being a member of IRSC, an associated member or a graduate member, whatever, or a fellow, whatever it is, it only gives you the up-to-date industry practices, up-to-date industrial knowledge, and also keeps you very, very, very up-to-date with regard to the developments that are taking place in the railways throughout the world. Some may be going through automatic signaling, some may be going through CBTC, some may be going through tube railway, that is metro railways with the different interlocking systems, and different companies will get different contracts. So all that also is a part of the IRSC journal. So being a IRSC member, it will give you an industry view, because once you are in the field of doing a particular work, you'll be concentrating only on the work without knowing what is happening outside. But once you are in the IRSC, as a member of IRSC, then you will be getting regular updates. So what you say is IRSC membership details, advantages will be industry standard and professional development. So people also will appreciate if you are a member of the IRSC. Okay, that means he is up to date. He is aware of what is happening. Then your own self-reputation and demonstrate the commitment to maintain professional standards and develop knowledge and understanding. So it will help you in your improving your reputation, and it will also demonstrate to others that you have a commitment to maintain professional standards and develop your knowledge and understanding. So this can be what you say, I don't know if can I associate with cricket, where cricket players are graded like A, B, C and all that, and the A level players, they get more salary and more packages for every match they play. B level may get something less, but B will always come to A, C will always jump into B. So like that, there are various gradings. So that means each one has demonstrated his capability to do a particular activity professionally, and is being rewarded for that. In the same way, the industry also will reward. And third one is career progression and self-development. So you yourself can progress in your career to say that, okay, today I'm a designer, I can become a senior designer, I can become a design verifier, I can become an expert, a signaling expert, and also I can become a technical manager, a team leader, and you can self-develop yourself. You can do the particular activity and develop yourself and show your competency. So just like initially you have a two-wheeler license, then you go for a four-wheeler license. And after a four-wheeler, you go for a light vehicle, then heavy vehicle. So like that, you are developing your competency. So in the same way, it will take some time. It is not immediate. Nobody will give you a driving license within 6 months or 1 year and all. So you'll have to have some hours of experience, of road experience, driving experience with safety record and all that. Then you will be given. The same way like a flying license also, a pilot license. So it will take a few hours. You will have to fly for a few hours, fly on a particular type of aircraft, get to know the technical details. Then only you are giving a flight license. In the same way, these licenses also come with a lot of responsibility. These licenses also come with a lot of responsibility. So license is different and modules are different. So once I go through the further slides, I will tell you what is the exact difference between modules and license. So this is what I said, advantages of IRSC. So industry standard and professional development, self-reputation and demonstrate the commitment to maintaining the professional standards and develop knowledge and understanding, and career progression and self-development. So what are the types of membership of IRSC? So there is a fellow membership. All that is available on the IRSC website. So you can just go and have a look to see where you fit into that IRSC membership details. So these keep on changing year by year. So if you want this year, it will be a bit different. Next year, it may be a bit different. So you need to go through the latest IRSC website and find out what qualification and what suitability you have to become which level you can become. It can be a fellow, it can be a member, it can be an associate member, or it can be an accredited technician, or it can be an affiliate, or it can be a companion. So these are the different types of membership details for IRSC. So first, you will have to find out where do you stand with reference to what you are doing now, and start the membership activity, fill up the form and support it with your evidences of whatever activity you are doing. Your manager will be able to sign it off to say that yes, he is doing the particular installation activity, or he is doing the particular design activity, or he is doing the particular maintenance activity. So like that, your manager will be able to certify, and you can find out where do you stand with regard to this membership and apply for that membership along with the particular fees. And once you apply for this membership, then every year you will have to renew the membership. Every year you have to, yeah, there is a hand raised. Yeah. Yeah, tell me. Who has raised the hand? I can't see. Hello. Somnath Sen. Yeah.
Somnath, please ask your question. I have unmuted you.
Sorry, sir. Actually, by mistake, it was done.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. But if you think that it is important, then I don't mind getting disturbed. Actually, because some people remember the question at the instant. Otherwise, normally they note it down and ask at the end of the lecture.
Sir, I have a request to the participants. Whatever queries or doubts you are having, which you'd like to ask, please type it in the chat box, and so that we could record them right now and take them at the end of the session.
Exactly.
We will not miss any question.
Yeah.
So
well
whatever
said,
question,
yeah,
whatever
well
question
said, Sumit, yeah.
please put it in the chat box, and I will take it after the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be, so some persons may feel that this question is not appropriate and all that. It can be as ignorant as anything. I don't mind, because people in this field are always asking questions which they will need to clarify. So I don't mind the quality of question. If you think it is a valid question, then please put up. Right. So these are the membership details of the IRSC. Now, why do you need a membership? That is already as an industry competence, you need it. You need to keep updated with what is happening in the industry. Now, if you're, as I told you, I passed out in 1978, and my qualification was diploma in electronics. And what I started was with vacuum tubes. Today, there are no vacuum tubes anywhere. From vacuum tubes, we came into transistors, and from transistors, we came into SCR, diodes, triacs, whatever it is. And now we are into integrated circuits, and now it is all microprocessor and further embedded. So right now, even I don't know how many transistors that the chip contains and all that. So we have come a long way. So like that, there have been very, 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 very heavy developments in all fields. Mobiles, we have not heard of. Laptops, we have not heard of. Computer, they said, no, it should be only in air conditioned. Wherever houses are air conditioned, only those rich people will have computers. So like that, a lot of things have changed. Now, I'm looking after my grandson, who is about 16 months old now, and he's having television to watch. So we have come a long way. Television also came in very late. So like that, there have been lot of changes. In signaling also, there have been lot of changes. In the field of communication, there have been lot of changes. So field and technology is improving day by day. And unless you are keeping abreast of it, you will be lost in the crowd. So it is very important that even though whether you appear for module A, B, C, D, as a part of your curriculum and also hold your IRSC license, being a member of the IRSC is very important so that you are able to keep up to date with what is happening around you in the field of railways, signaling, telecommunication, lot of improvements, ETCS, ERTMS, all this, we have not heard it. Yeah, right. So associate member, accredited technician, affiliate, and companion. So these are a few along with fellow and member. So these are the few where you can become a member of the IRSC, keep up to date knowledge, receive regular bulletins, regular briefings, attend annual ceremonies and annual dinners and all that, and take part in other activities also. And regularly receive the IRSC monthly magazines, except in December. They don't publish in December because Christmas break, they say. Recently, I was told they had a very good 3-day meeting in Delhi, IRSC conference. A lot of companies have participated. I regularly follow LinkedIn. So a lot of companies participated with their products, with whatever their inventions. And so if you are able to attend something like that, then you will get more and more knowledge. Right. So membership grade. So these are for basic qualifications for membership. So to become a fellow, you will need a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or qualifications of comparable level, typically of 3 years full-time duration to become a fellow. To become a member, it is master's degree or bachelor's degree or qualifications. And associate member means post-school qualifications. And accredited technician means it is only IRSC license. So he doesn't have any qualification as such, but he is in possession of IRSC license. So he can become an accredited technician. And the highest post they give is a fellow. So once you are a fellow, it means you are in the topmost position of IRSC. So these are some basic qualifications which you will need for you to decide as to which membership of IRSC you will take. Right. Now this is the module old syllabus. Are you able to see this old syllabus? This is the old syllabus where IRSC modules were there. One was with regard to safety of railway signaling and communication. The second was signaling the layout, signaling principles, communication principles, signaling and control equipment, application engineering, communication equipment, application engineering, and system management and engineering. So these were the 7 earlier modules. Out of that, you need to pass at least 4. 1 was compulsory, and out of the remaining 2 to 7, you would need to pass at least 3 of them in order to be successfully declared as an IRSC diploma or whatever IRSC qualification to say that you have passed all the 4 modules. Now, since last year, they have changed it. They have made it a bit more, I will not say tough, but a bit more relevant. Safety of railway signaling and communication, signaling the layout, so all that they have combined now. Still, the content and all, everything is, yeah, the content and all that is same, but the examinations have now been combined, and it is now only 4 modules or 4 subjects, they call it as. Yeah, somebody is unmuted himself. Huh?
Sir, I muted him.
Right. All right. Okay. Thank you. So the subjects are same. It has now been combined into 4 different modules. So still no safety, what you say, no change in the technical content, except that a few of them have been combined with a broader view now. Because of development in the industry, they have taken a very broader view to see that how can we make the candidate more successful and more eligible to do a particular work. Now let us, now this is a new pattern examination. This is the first module, Fundamentals of Railway Control Engineering. This covers all the aspects of railway control engineering at a foundation level. It will not give you much detail, but it will give you as a foundation level, and it will be a standalone qualification called as. So once you pass this fundamentals of railway control engineering, IRSC will give you a certificate to say that he has passed the railway control engineering fundamentals. This is what we call as module A. Fundamentals of railway control engineering. Now, does this give you any meaning of railway control engineering? So railway means, okay, fine. Everybody is aware of railways. We have all traveled in railways. We have purchased tickets. We have entered into compartments, and we have got down at a particular station. We have come out and all. So railways travel 600 kilometer, 500 kilometer, or 800, whatever it is. It takes a particular duration to cover it. Yes, maybe depends on the speed. Maybe 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, depends on which area you're traveling and which country you're traveling. So it does have a speed. It takes you from one place to another, but there is a lot of engineering behind it. The most basic will be a track. There will be a railway track first from section A to section B. Then only the trains will follow. And once there is a track, then there will be a lot of engineering behind the track. The laying of the track, the gauging of the track, the mechanical strength, the physical strength, all that. Then there'll be some lot of other obstructions also. There may be some bridges, there may be some overhead, there may be some underhead. So all that also is a part of the railway structure. So once there is a track, the train goes from A to B. You're not going to run trains one after the other. You are going to run trains with a safe distance to ensure that one does not collide with another. And the distance is also covered at a particular speed, and you are able to reach safely. So all that is a part of railway control engineering. So train control is there, section control is there, then speed control is there, then concept of braking the train in case of any accident, any emergency. There'll be manual brake, automatic brake, whatever types of brakes and all that. So braking, and then the trains will run safely from A to B or B to A. Then if just like in the roadways, you will have single, what you call it as a one way. Then you will have two ways. Then there can be 4 lane or 5 lane or 8 lane on either side. So 16 lane. So like that, there can be different. So in case of trains also, in case of railway track layout also, you have single line, you have double line, you have multiple quadruple lines. And where you enter into junctions, you have got a lot of platforms where the train comes into a particular platform and you are able to come out. So how these platforms are all intertwined, how they are joined, and what safety that two trains from the same does not leave from the same platform, or two trains going in the same direction from different platforms do not leave at the same time. So all this is a lot of controls are there. Just like every day we are using controls, but we are not much taking much, what you say, we are not thinking about it much, but every day we are taking controls. Like before you go out of the house, you lock your house. Even that is a control to see that a thief does not enter. So in the same way, if once a train is there, you don't allow another train to come. No other thief should come into. So like that, there are different systems and different controls. All that is to ensure that your journey is safe and you are reaching home safely. And the system also works efficiently. So these are all the basic concepts of railway control engineering. I'll go, there are bits and bits. I'll go each way bit. This is only just a general explanation. So Certificate of Railway Control Engineering Fundamental. This is the certificate that you will get once you pass this course. And these key dates are March, April was the opening of online bookings for exam. 30th June was the deadline for all online applications and payment for exam, and the first Saturday in October will be the exam day. This is general. So first Saturday in October will be the exam day. For this year, see, these are the four modules. Now, a full examination, there will be 4 mandatory modules as listed below. So these 4 mandatory modules are Fundamentals of Railway Control System, that is Module A, Railway Safety and System Engineering, that is Module B, Principles of Railway Control and Communication System, Module C, and Application of Railway Control and Communication, that is Module D. So once you pass all these 4 modules, then you will be given a certificate and as an advanced diploma in railway control engineering. And this certificate is as good as a BE or a BTech in railway engineering. Because BE and BTech, their degrees are not awarded in universities for railway signaling. But if you pass all these 4 modules, then this will stand you in good stead to say that along with your engineering qualification, you are also aware of railway signaling and control. 4 modules, Module A, B, C, and D. But if you are able to pass only one module, then you will get this certificate for Railway Control Engineering Fundamentals. So this certificate is separate for Module A, and once you pass A, B, C, and D, then you will get this advanced diploma. So there is a diploma for four exams, and if you are able to pass only one, then you will get a separate certificate for that. So passing all the 4 will improve your knowledge, market value, and also your own qualification and your own concept of signaling. But passing the first one also will give you a better information about how the railway systems are controlled. So there is either 1 or you can pass 1, 2, 3, 4. But as you go further in the next slide, they will say that to appear for 2, 3, 4, you should have passed 1. You cannot directly appear for 2, 3, 4 without having passed 1. That is a compulsory. So this you can see here. For other modules, the key dates for all candidates and the sponsors are as follows. You can start from mid-February itself for those wishing to sit for modules B, C, or D in this year. So if you are trying to sit for any B, C, or D, then you can start your membership mid-February. March and April is open for online bookings for examination, available for modules B, C, and D. So you can book for B, C, and D. First, you need to submit your membership. Without membership, you are not allowed to sit for B, C, and D. It is compulsory. So it is there in the next slide also. For B, C, and D, you will need to become a member. We don't mind whichever member you become. Even you can be an affiliate member, or you can become an associate member, or even a main member, depending upon your qualification and depending upon your engineering background and depending upon the activity that you're doing now. But unless you become a member, you will not be allowed to sit for B, C, and D. Member is compulsory. So once you start your membership in mid-February, you will be getting a confirmation by March or April to say that, okay, you are accepted as a member. And once you are accepted as a member, then you can opt for either B, C, or D, or B, C, and D with a sponsorship declaration form. So sponsorship declaration form is something from your manager to say that you are competent to sit for this examination and that you will be sitting for module B or C to improve your competency. And 31st July is a deadline for application, online application and payment of all exam modules to be done. So by 31st July, you should have paid the fees for all the examination. If you are sitting for A, B, C, or D, A, B, C, and D, or only A, by 31st July, you should have paid the fees. And this year, the examination is in October, 1st October. That is the first Saturday of October. That is, if you think it is exactly 3 months from now. 1st October is the examination. Module A, B, C, and D, everything is conducted at the same time, on the same day, depending on whatever module you appear. Suppose you are applying for B, C, and D, then you will have to stagger the timing. B will be in the morning, C will be in the afternoon, and D will be in the evening, whatever timings you can stagger. But examination is on only one day. Or if you are applying for only B, then it is B only. Or C and D, then C and D. Whatever you want to appear, you can appear. But to appear for B, C, and D, you will need to become a member. And membership forms you should start by mid-February. March, April, you should be booking for the examination. And 30th April is submission of the signed sponsorship declaration form. And if you need to send a second one, then 31st May and 31st July is for payment of all examination modules. And first Saturday in October is the examination. So this year, if you're intending to write module A, then it is 1st October 2020. Right. Let me see. Oh, okay. I'll come to the syllabus just a bit. Yeah. See, prerequisites. There are no prerequisite to sit in the certificate of railway control engineering fundamentals. So should you be basically qualified? No. Should you be an engineering graduate? No. Should you be a diploma? No. There are no prerequisites. You should be working in that field. Yes. You should be aware of electrical fundamentals. All that is fine, but they are not going to check your certificate and see that how much percentage you got and whether you will be able to sit for this or not. No. There are no prerequisites to sit in the certificate of railway control engineering fundamentals. IRSC members and non-members are encouraged to study for and to sit in the module. So even if you are a member also, you can sit. If you are not a member also, you can sit for module A. So module A has got no educational restrictions. It does not say you should be an engineering graduate. It does not say that you should have worked for 5 years in railway signaling or whatever it is. You can just appear and sit, but you should have sufficient knowledge and you should have read through. So what you say indirectly, they are insisting that you should be aware of the signaling principles, fundamentals and all that, but I am not going to make that compulsory. So somebody who has not passed engineering, but is still working in the signaling field, then he will be able to pass the IRSE module A because he is aware of the signaling principles, fundamentals and all that, but he is not an engineering graduate. So no prerequisites, you can sit for. So this answers your first question here. What was, who are eligible for IRSE module examination? Who is eligible now? Everybody is eligible, provided he himself feels confident that he can sit and he can pass the IRSE module A. There are no prerequisites. So applications are now open. Applications are now open and it will close in the end of July 22 to sit for the examination on Saturday, that is the 1st October. So if you want to apply for module A, you can apply now. Pay the fees by July 22 and 31st July and go through the instructions, practices and all that. Start preparing and appear for this module. Arrangements are in place for a second opportunity. So last year, what happened in 2021, they conducted once in October, and for the persons who were not much successful, they conducted again in March 2022. So that means whatever you call it as a supplementary batch, but that is only for module A. They conducted a supplementary batch in March 2022 with separate application and separate fees, but you had one more examination date, March 2022. In the same way, this time also they are planning something in 2023, maybe March, but date is not yet aware. So we are not aware of the supplementary examination. The supplementary examination, we should not call it a supplementary, but because it's a standard practice in schools and board exams, we call it as. So it's a separate examination. You can directly apply for March paying the fees separately, and you can sit directly for March without even appearing for October. So what you can say is it is an additional examination conducted only for module A, not for other modules. Other modules are all only yearly, October. Only for module A, since last year, they have started two examinations in a year. So one is October and the other one is March. So this year also, they are looking for a second opportunity to sit in 2022, but booking has not yet opened. So please keep an eye on this. So IRSC website will be able to guide you further about the second examination for module A only. Okay, right. So let us go back to where we. So once we have A, B, C, and D, right. So this year the examination date is 1st October 2022. What is this? This is the syllabus for module A examination. Role of railway signaling and communication system. So what is the role of railway signaling and communication? How systems are communicated, how information is communicated to the driver of a train. Hope you are all aware how the information is communicated to the driver of the train to take his train ahead. Anyone can answer very quickly. How is the driver communicated that he can leave the platform along with his train? Anyone?
Sir, they're writing their answers on in the chat.
Right. Okay, let me see. Yeah, exactly correct. Yes, it is signals. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I was not looking at the chat. Fine. So signals, exactly. So if you wait at the platform and if maybe you're just seeing of some relatives and all that, you still wait at the platform till the train leaves. There will be a guard's whistle and all that, but you still manage to wait at the platform. The people will say, "Are guard, train is moving," and all. But you know that unless the signal is given and unless the driver sounds a horn and informs the guard that he is ready to leave, the train will not leave the platform. So all that only you are aware. There is a lot of people, they try to get down from the running train, or they try to just come through the entrance and try to get down because the train is moving and all that. So that is one of the role of railway signaling and communication system. So the driver is informed that he can take the train ahead of the platform. Fine. And how the driver is informed? By signals. Right. Along with that, if the driver gets stuck up at some place midsection, how does he communicate that I got stuck up? So he has got some form of communication. He can inform the control. He can inform the central control or whatever method he has to say, or he can inform this adjacent station master also to say that he has got stuck up in between and he is not able to neither move left or right due to some reason, maybe an accident or maybe his own engine has failed and all. So like that, what is the communication system? How efficiently are the communication systems work? What is the role of railway signaling? Then principles and philosophy of railway control and communication. So what are the principles? On what principles it is based? And communications. So this is also a part of module A. Safety engineering and risk identification, analysis and management. Now safety engineering, I think people are already aware of what is safety. You drive two-wheelers, you drive four-wheelers, you drive whatever heavy vehicles and all. But there is a lot of safety behind it. You apply the brakes in time. You check before you board the vehicle to see whether the brakes are correctly working. And you also see that you are able to see the vehicle which is moving ahead. And in case that fellow brakes, you also brake in time to avoid collision. Otherwise, you bang into him and he bangs into the earlier one. And there are a lot of, multi accidents. A lot of vehicles will be involved. More closely at junctions. And one of the reason of road accident or a train accident, okay, mostly about I think 60 to 70% is due to overspeeding. Does everybody accept it? I think yes, because everybody wants to travel fast. Everybody wants to reach home quicker, and they have a good amount of overspeeding. So once you have overspeeding, then you are more prone to accident. So safety engineering, it will control your braking, it will see or check your speed. It will advise the driver to reduce the speed. And if the driver does not take any action, then it will automatically try to do depending on the system that you have implemented, along with risk identification, analysis, and management. Then there are some concepts of railway signaling and control. So the signaling, railway signaling, control, that includes interlocking, train detection, and routing, traffic management, and communication. So railway signaling and control, interlocking. Interlocking is how the points, track circuits, signals, all that are interlocked and ensure that two trains in the same direction do not leave at the same time from different platforms. All that is a part of interlocking. Train detection, how to detect where is the train. Mostly the most simplest train detection circuit is the track circuit. So how to detect where the train is and how to detect how it is to be routed and how to manage the traffic and also how to manage the communication. So a perfect, of course, maybe a crude example or a perfect example, maybe Uber and Ola, which is moving on the roads now. So once you book a Ola or a Uber, then what you do, you keep on tracking him to say that whether he is reaching your particular address or not. How do you track him? You track him through the GPS. So he has got a communication. He'll be communicating through to a satellite, and that satellite, you will be also accessing the information through a satellite, and then you will come to know, okay, it will take 10 minutes, 14 minutes, 15 minutes with a left turn, right turn, whatever it is. So like that, you will, the train detection also has axle counters, has track circuits to indicate where the train is, whether the train is moving or sometimes steady, whatever it is. So all that is a part of train detection, routing, traffic management, and communication. Then functionality and limitations of various types of train signaling and control equipment. So what are the various types of signaling and control equipment, and what is the functionality, what each one does, and what are the limitations? All that also will be a part of the study of this module examination. It will not go into the detail of the equipment. So please remember, this is only a concept study. It will only give you the knowledge about how the system is working, but it will not go into the full details of how and exactly what does it contain, how much power supply, what is the power rating, and what are the circuits inside. All that it will not be going. It will only give you a overall idea, just like a black box. But you can understand what goes in, what goes out, why the system is required, and why, what equipment, what function does it do. All that will be there, but you will not come to know the intricate details. Then functionality and limitations of various types of train signaling and control equipment. Concept of system life cycle, including design, installation, testing, and commissioning. So what is system life cycle? Yes, I know everybody is aware of what is system life cycle. If you buy a bulb in your house, a filament bulb, you are aware that its life is maybe 6 months, 1 year maximum, depending on voltage variations and all that. It will likely to blow off any time. So your life cycle is only 6 to 8 months, depending on the voltage fluctuations, depending upon the number of operations, and depending upon how much heat it develops, everything. So the same bulb, if you're replacing it with LED, then okay, it's a bit more reliable. It will not fuse for 1 year or more than, sometimes occasionally more than 1 year, and gives a better light output, consumes less power. So now what has happened? The increased lifetime. But why not we use only LEDs? No, it is not possible. It is not possible because LEDs have also got their limitations and restrictions. So most of the time we are forced to buy incandescent lamps, though LEDs are nowadays preferred. So system life cycle. So life cycle has improved. In the same way, your original, whatever different types of cars also. Somebody will say, this car is long lasting. This car is not worth purchasing, because it's either because of its inside equipments, they get damaged very soon. It's not worth, its resale value is low, whatever. So there'll be a lot of reasons. So life cycle means the life, the overall period in which it works efficiently and does its purpose of what it intends, what it needs to do. So as if the life cycle is more, if it has got a longer life cycle, then we will always prefer that. Even though the manufacturer will say that 15 years, but nobody will purchase. Somebody will purchase it and keep it for 15 years. After that, he will go for the next purchase only after 15 years. So sometimes we do some modeling, we do some model changes, we give some better output. Somebody will say my pickup is 60 km/h within 9 seconds. Somebody will say, no, it is still a higher speed within less seconds. So like that, there'll be different changes to models with more technology improvement and all that. And they always try to sell a better model. Now, as far as railways are concerned, a signal post or a signal bulb, so like everything has got a life cycle. So you will need to know what is the life cycle of the equipment. And you should not be providing equipments which have got lower life cycle, because it means regular replacement and also frequent maintenance, including design, then installation. So how it needs to be installed, whether nut bolt or whether screws, and how it needs to be installed, then how it needs to be tested and commissioned. So concept of system life cycle, including design, installation, testing, and commissioning. So this will also form a part of the module A. So once again, it will give you only the basic hints, but it will not give you the details of each and every system. It will give you sufficient knowledge for you to understand the working of the railway system, but it will not give you sufficient knowledge for maintaining or working with each and every equipment. Importance of maintenance, inspection, and testing. Concepts of dependability and operability. So importance of maintenance. I assume everybody knows what is maintenance. We do maintenance every day. Even in your house, you do maintenance every day. Like maybe cleaning of vessels in the kitchen. That is a part of maintenance, so that you are able to use it next time. Or it can be maintenance of other washing machines and all at home. If you are using a vehicle, then you always keep it as fit to run condition with all the maintenance that it can be done, cleaning, wiping, scrubbing, whatever you need to do. And inspection. Now, if something is likely to fail more often, then what you do is you actually have a more regular inspection. Normally, if the schedule is, say, it says once in 15 days, but because it is likely to fail more often, you will say, okay, why not we inspect this once in a week to find out if there is any damage or if there is a chance of failure. So like that, if you increase your period of inspection, you can have it working for a longer period. But if you have it regularly inspection, then the inspection also will be proving a bit costly for you, because every week this person will have to go and spend about 2-3 hours to check whether that equipment is working or not. Instead of that, if you replace that equipment and say, okay, for 6 months you do not look into it, because 6 months it's a new equipment. If it is 6 months and it will not fail for at least 6 months, so then you can reduce your inspection time also, and the time can be spent usefully somewhere. So by reducing the period of inspection, you are actually giving the maintenance staff or the testing staff a bit more time to do other activities. But by increasing the period of inspection, you are maintaining a worn-out equipment, but it will work as long as it needs to work. So you will come to know. So just one of the, one of the method of extending a worn-out gear, lifetime of an worn-out gear is to have more frequent inspections to avoid any breakdown. But sometimes once you inspect and you come back immediately, it breaks also, because it's already completed its lifetime. So lifetime is important, life cycle is important, Maintenance is important, inspection is also important, and also testing. And concepts of dependability and operability. So all this also will be covered as a part of module A. Then concept of design of fail-safe hardware and high integrity software. Now, fail-safe hardware, you already know that whatever systems we are using, data loggers we are using now, computerized systems we are using, even in your home or even in whatever laptops you are using, sometimes it fails to boot. What you do, switch on, switch off once or twice, do it thrice, then you go back to the service center to see that what has happened, whether there is a booting problem or whether there is a virus problem, and how best it can be resolved. So like that, whatever systems you provide for railway control, safety, indication, monitoring, and all that, it should be a fail-safe hardware. Or even if one of the system fails, you should be able to transfer it back into a redundant system, a redundancy. So that means another working system will come in place, and this one will go for repair. And high integrity software. Now this is, I think now everybody is aware of what is high integrity software. You have got softwares in your system. We have got softwares in your mobile, but we also, either by hook or crook, we download some viruses also. And we do not know how the software will collapse, how the software will get corrupted, and what will be happening. Today morning also, I got some message to say that please do not respond to certain numbers. So whatever mobiles you have, whatever systems you have, computerized systems, laptops, tabs, household, iPads, whatever it is, they are all prone to malicious operations. They are, and more so companies which are working in safety field. They are very, very prone to all this. That is why each company has got its own system of how best it can maintain its information IT. So there are a lot of instructions even to you also. Persons who are working on official laptops, do not download this, do not download this, or do not go into these websites. And sometimes these websites are already blocked by your office persons itself, by your office IT and managers. And sometimes even if you download, immediately when you connect to the server will say that you have downloaded some virus and you need to delete it. So high integrity software is one of must. And I will not, what you say, re-emphasize this more and more, because everybody is associated every day with either the bank account being locked or bank account being emptied or some software being downloaded, which is not a. So let us be very careful, and this will tell you how railways are maintaining. Then the next point will be standards, procedures, legislation, and regulations which apply to operating and changing a rail. Now, standards, you know, yes, even if you take your normal vehicle driving, there are certain standards which you need to follow. Always drive on the left side of the road, but in Sweden, we drive on the right side of the road. So standards are there, and you need to keep a distance, safe distance between two vehicles. You know, procedures, you know, speed boards, you know, speed limits, you know how to take a crossing, you know how to move around a curvature or take a left turn, right turn, and all that. So you give an indication, you wait for a low slip, you wait for the other vehicle to pass if that is coming very fast. You don't want to bang into it. So all that standards, procedures, legislation, there are laws which will say that you are allowed to do this or you're not allowed to do this. And there are regulations. So all this will apply to operating and changing a railway. So I am sure that persons who are appearing on this lecture now will be aware of railway signaling practices and will also be following their own company rules, standards, and procedures to do a particular activity. So there are certain standards. If you are working in network rail has got a network rail standards, and there is also a railway group standard. If you're working for Indian Railways, you already got a general and subsidiary rules, and there is a signal engineering manual, which will tell you how the signaling equipments will need to be maintained. So if you are working for London Underground, then there are LUL standards, London Underground standards. For metros, there are different standards. So like that, standards are a must. Once there is no standard, it means everybody will do their work erratically and there will be no system matching. Systems may break down. So standards, procedures, then standard drawings will be there. How to erect this, how to wire them. So it is not that just like in your house, we run wires up and down. It's not like that. You need to have a particular standard. You need to use a particular equipment. You need to use standard equipment, standard wiring practices, and correctly represent it in the particular diagram so that you are able to maintain, you are able to repair, and you are also able to understand. So railways, along with other industry, aircraft has also got standards, airways have got standards. So standards are a must. You must be aware of what you are doing. You cannot do anything random unless you have taken proper permission. So standards are there, procedures are there, legislation is there, and regulations are also there, which will apply to all. Then interfaces and interactions between railway control and communication and related railway systems and stakeholders. Now this I will just give you some brief idea. Now, if you are working on Indian Railways and if a train is traveling from, let us say, Mumbai to Chennai, if you are traveling from Mumbai to Chennai, then you will be traveling mostly through the section called Pune and all that. And Pune is under a different control. The train control in Pune is through a different agency. The train control in Sholapur is under a different agency. The train control at Guntakal is under a different agency. The train control at Renigunta or whatever it is under a different agency. And the train control at Chennai is under a different agency. But when a train leaves from Mumbai, it passes through all these 5 or 6 controls. Different controls are there, but still the handing over and taking over of this train is done in a systematic manner. This fellow will not say, "Arey, you have sent this train." That fellow will not say, no, I cannot receive and all that. So the handing over, the train will move from one control to another control and from another control to another control. So like that, it will be having 5 or 6 controls before it finally reaches its destination. In the same way, a train leaving from Mumbai to Delhi, it will also pass through 7 or 8 controls at different places, different divisions, different sections. And everywhere the changeover is smooth, the interface is smooth, and the running of the train is also smooth. Now, along with that, if you take, if you're aware of traction, there can be different types of tractions. There can be AC traction. Somewhere earlier, Mumbai used to have DC traction. So the changeover from DC traction to AC traction also will take place. And from AC traction to non-electrified section also will take place. And from non-electrified section back into AC traction will take place. So there are different types of controls. There are different types of communication and related railway systems. Even some sections may be having track circuits, some sections may be having axle counters, some sections may be having some balises and ETCS equipment and all that. So even though there are different systems, the interface between them will ensure that the train moves smoothly without any obstruction. In the same way, when you are moving by road from one state to another, so there also you will have some interface written. But everything is done smoothly. So railway control, communication, related railway systems, and stakeholders. So what are the interfaces? What are the interactions? So you will have a brief knowledge. You will be given a brief idea about all this. Then railway control and communication in function of other than the control of train movement, including level crossings and stations. Now, a lot of people would have heard what is level crossing. Yes, level crossing is where the train interfaces with the road traffic. And incidentally, the train is, as far as India is concerned, is a central government owned. The road traffic is state government, and you will have regular interfaces. You will have regular conflicts. and you will have to control both. You will have to see that trains also do not get much detained, and you will also have to ensure that the road traffic is also not much interrupted, and not that the level crossings are closed for quite some time in order to allow the trains to pass. So you'll have to strike a balance. You'll have to discuss. You will have to design circuitry based on that to see that both of them are able to manage the traffic flow smoothly without much issues. And preferably, and most importantly, in many cases, railways do not want level crossings at all. They would like to close all the level crossings and have either road over bridge or road under bridge, whatever it is, but they don't want to. But in a country like India, it is not possible to close all the level crossings, even though as per railway board instructions and as per railway improvements and all that, a lot of level crossing gates in suburban sections have been closed. At least the suburban traffic will not be interrupted. But mainline trains, they still have to pass through these level crossings. Most of them are now interlocked and protected against any accidents. Still, there may be a few where one may try to bump into the other, and there can be a few accidents. Now, what is most important among all this is whatever you do, whatever you study, whatever field you are working, you should ensure utmost safety. Safety of equipments, safety of your maintenance staff, safety of traffic, and see that everything is done smoothly and as per a particular process. So these are the 11 topics which will be covered as a part of Module A training. And once again, not in much detail, but sufficient for you to gain a good knowledge and appear for the examination. Right. Now, latest examination papers, exam paper for the certificate, it will not be published. So they will not be publishing the exam paper. However, candidates will be given access to an online practice paper when they have applied to sit in the module. So once they have applied for this module, then they will be given online practice paper where they can practice. And sample questions are available in our reading list page. So IRSC has got a reading list page where you can see for the sample questions. And in our course also, we will have one sample question and two model papers if throughout this course of 42 hours, where we will have two model papers. We can discuss the answers, and we can also discuss the sample questions. And there is a document, there is a reading list also. All documents within the essential reading list are available on our reading list page for IRSC members and non-members. So both members and non-members can access this page, which will show you what are the, and there are other support materials also in the document library. So IRSC website has got all the information. IRSC does not want you to fail. IRSC wants you to pass the examination, but IRSC wants you to be competent enough to pass the examination. This is an examination only. It is going to see your basic knowledge. It is not going to give you problems of 6 into 5 is equal to 30 and all that and see everybody writes 30 and passes through. No. You will have to think about it. You will have to analyze it and then only reply. And incidentally, there are no passing marks. It will come based on the overall percentage. That's it. They will not say that you have got 60 out of 100 or 65 out of 100 or 70 out of 100. No. And there are some videos also in the study where they discuss the signaling principles and previous papers and all that. So once you are ready for this module A, then you can go through all of them. You can go through the study page. You can go through the support materials, and you can also go through the videos, which will give you good amount of information for you to get through the examination. Right. Hope I have not missed any. See, yeah, right. Yeah. The duration of this training, the training that we are proposing now is supposed to be 42 hours. Weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 hours in the evening from 7 to 9 p.m. Commencing from 1st of August. The hours for each topic, as I have discussed, I have only given the hours here, but it can change if you think that, sir, we need to concentrate more on a particular hour or not. So this overall is my assumption that you will need so many hours to discuss each and every topic. And we are going to cover it with the model paper and discussions and all that. It will be another 4 hours. The 42 hours of training for module A, syllabus is covered, requirements are covered. We have already said there are no prerequisites. We have already said that if you are intending to if you are intending to appear for the examination, then you should complete the process by July 2022 to sit for the examination on 1st October. So you got 2 months fully to prepare, August and September. Arrangements are already there for a second opportunity, but this is with the separate exam fees and all that. That may be in March 2023. I don't know about it, but it has not yet come. Right. And there will be no exam centers. There are no examination centers. This is an online examination, and you will need to appear from your computer or laptop with a reliable internet connection. So it is, you should give the examination at home, from home. You need not go to any exam center. This is location of exam. There are some restrictions. So see, this is what he said. Certificate of Railway Control Engineering Fundamental covers all aspects of railway control engineering at a foundation level, meaning it is suitable for a wide group of people working on or around railway control engineering. IRSC members and non-members can sit for the examination module. The cost is £115, and today's rate of pound is around 95 rupees. So you can think about 11,000 or so. It is a computer-based exam. There are no exam centers. Candidates can choose where they sit their module on their own computer, somewhere quiet with a reliable internet. So don't get disturbed by anybody. With a reliable internet, you can sit from your laptop itself. It is a closed book exam. So no textbooks are referred. You cannot refer to any textbooks. It will be remotely invigilated. Now this is something, this is also one of what you say, systems security. They will remotely invigilate to see whether you are copying or whether you are copying somebody discussing and all, whatever it is. There are 11 time slots across the day to suit individual candidates. So 11 time slots are there. So if you are appearing for A, B, C, and D, then maybe, of course, A, B, C, and D, you cannot appear. You can appear for only B, C, and D, or you can appear only for A. So if you are appearing for A, you can choose any time slot. If you are appearing for B, C, and D, then you can choose different time slots with 1 hour gap. So all the time slots are given in universal coordinated time, that is UTC. So once you go to the website, it will, as far as I know, it starts from 9 o'clock in the morning, Indian Standard Time, from 9 till evening 9. So you can sit for any time. Right. Do you think we should take the questions now for module A?
I think, sir, we should, I think it's already 8:14. So I'm thinking that we should take up questions, and after 8:30, if we have time, we can talk about BCD as well.
All right. Okay, fine.
So,
yeah, right. Okay. So what I'll do is I just, you tell me the questions.
the option for lifetime membership with IRSC.
Lifetime membership.
Yes.
I think you will have to find out from them only.
Okay.
So
next question is, sir, Mr. Sai Karan would like to know if this module is useful for Metro Rail employee station controller.
Lifetime membership, you need to find out from, hold on. Oh, IRSC itself. Yeah. Yes, sir. Tell me. Second one.
Question is that Mr. Sai Karan would like to know that whether this module is useful for Metro Rail employee who's a station controller. Can he get into signaling design companies after passing module A? So what are these?
No, this will not enable you to come into signaling design, but it will give you an overall concept of how the systems are working.
Okay. Next question, sir. Mr. Murshid is asking, may I know the fee structure for or payments for memberships and exams? I think we can direct him to the IRSC website to get the
Yeah,
details.
well, examination, we have already said it is 115 pounds. Membership depends on what type of membership you have, whether you're an associate member or only a member or affiliate member, then it will be different, but it should always be around 100 pounds, not less than that.
Okay.
Improve concept only. Yeah, right. Okay.
Mr. Rohit is asking, sir, how do we compare IRS TLO and IRSC licenses?
IRS TLO is only for by Indian Railways. IRSC is valid throughout the world. Hope it answers.
Yes, sir. Where we get study material for these modules?
Yeah, IRSC website.
Okay, sir. I think we are done with the questions now, so we can move forward.
IRSC website for any subjects or study books. Yeah.
Sir, if anyone is not passed in first attempt, will he be getting the second chance without extra fees? I believe no. Yes.
No. IRSC will charge the fees, but I think Academy now is proposing to refund half. No, I don't know. Whatever. That will be the commercial one.
Offer, sir, we've come up with a very interesting offer for people who would be willing to register for this IRSE Module A preparation.
Yeah, correct.
So, another question is that there is a person named Rishita who's asking, I already work in railways. How does passing this exam help me to get other opportunities?
Exactly correct. A very sensible question, actually. If you are working at whatever level you are working, I assume whatever level you are working as a section engineer or so, this will help you to qualify for the departmental examinations. And also this will help you to improve your career by jumping into any other private organization if you so desire.
Sir, I believe a lot of private companies are also preferring people who have passed module IRSE Module A.
Yes.
Because they're doing a lot of UK signaling work. So where this qualification stands as a preferred qualification. For
Exactly correct. And also this will help that lady to sit for any departmental exams in case there is an opportunity within railways itself. So one is departmental promotions and within the same system, or second one is come out of the system and join any private company with this sufficient knowledge and have a better exposure throughout the world and not be with only Indian Railways. Of course, it depends on which stage she is and whatever her career wishes are.
Sir, one interesting question. If somebody passes only Module A and not the other modules, so will it be beneficial for their career?
Yeah, it will be beneficial that you will have overall concept, but it will not help you. If the company wants you to take up a particular assignment, then it may not help you. But as an engineer, if you are able to have an overall concept, it will be helpful for you only. Okay. The company may not support you in giving you a different, what you say, let us say communication expert or something like that, but this will be an added advantage for you, because now a lot of people who are working are mostly aware of what they are doing only. They are not aware of the overall system. So not being aware of the overall system puts you at a disadvantage in a lot of meetings and all that, where other information or other discipline people are discussing something important and you are not even aware of what is the basics about it. So that will give you a, what you say, negative thought to say that I am not aware and all that. But this sort of training and this sort of reading will help you to gain the knowledge and also sit more comfortably for such discussions. Passing other modules will be really, really helpful, where you will be able to show your expertise and let your company know that, yes, I can now become a good signaling engineer with different experience in different fields.
I think Muhammad Ansari sir has already answered that if you pass the other modules also, this will actually give you a significant edge in your career.
Exactly.
Exploring international as well as opportunities with the private sector as well.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, Mr. Kamlesh Kumar is asking, for all different modules we need to pay fees separately. Yes. And yes. I would like to add one thing, after module A, you'll have to become a member with IRSC.
Exactly correct.
It would cost another set of investment to become a member.
Yeah, that will be, once you become module A, you can appear without becoming a member, and module B, C, and D, you need to become a member. So that will be another £100 or so per year.
So in addition to the module fees, you will also have to incur £100 every year in order to be eligible to appear for BCD modules.
Yeah, retain your membership also, and not only this examination point of view, but you will also be in touch with what is happening around the world. It is something like people, a lot of people, they contribute to different magazines. They subscribe to different magazines, technical magazines. Somebody will submit to auto, saying what are the different developments in the field of automotive manufacturing and all. So like that, this is also railway manufacturing. So we are not, once you are in your system, you will not come to know what is happening outside.
Right. So we'll talk about the member option in just another 10 minutes. So I would like to take this opportunity to present the course details with you and explain you a few of the things that we are trying to do in this 42 hours of course. Sir, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Then we'll come back to your presentation, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Now, as you would be seeing our advertisements talking about that there is a special offer where we are offering get 50% cash back on IRSE Module A exam fee. So I would like to talk about it and also the course that we are planning to start from 1st of August. So as Narayan sir has already explained, so the classes would commence from first week of August, and 42 hours, it will be an online mode course program. During the weekdays, we'll be hosting it. And 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time is where we'll be hosting the classes. So next, so sir has already explained the curriculum, so I would not get into the details about. So important thing is, so for people who are having a busy schedule doing office, so recordings will be made available to trainees for self-study and references. So all the class recordings would be made available to you for reference, and also to people who may not be able to attend some classes during the course tenure. Next is question and answer support and mentoring shall be provided by the faculty till your exams through a WhatsApp group, which will be headed by Krithivasan sir and our other faculty members also to help you with the conceptual clarities. And next is there will be sample questions and practice sessions which will be provided by Krithivasan sir for you to develop confidence about the exam. Right? Would you like to explain a little bit on this part?
Yeah. Now, sample questions would be what you can say. You can say only, I can give you a few examples, like what are the precautions that you will take before you, even when you prepare your own cup of tea. What are the different precautions you take? First of all, you will keep everything ready. The vessel in which you are going to boil water, your tea packet and sugar and milk and whatever you want to do. And you will not be switching on the gas before you actually keep the vessel. And then once the water boils, then you will be very careful to see that the water doesn't spill out and you don't get any injuries and all that. And then you will put your tea and milk and sugar and then boil it to the correct extent and then take it out, because more boiling will cause the tea to get a bit bitter. And sometimes people will like more of sugar. So whatever you need to do, you need to add accordingly and have your cup of tea. So in a similar way, our sample questions also will be designed to ensure that you are able to understand the concept of safety. Now, what is the concept of safety? The concept of safety is that there are no accidents in the train running operations. And if the train is leaving a particular platform and going into the main line, then what are the precautions you need to take? There should not be any other train which should hit. There should not be any side collision. There should not be any rear collision. There should not be any other distraction to the driver. The driver should safely run, and there should not be any overspeeding, because he is moving through the junctions and he is now entering into the main line. Similar precautions like what you take on the road also. If you need to take a right diversion or a left diversion, the first thing what you do is you actually reduce the speed of your vehicle. On a straight road, you may be traveling at 60 or 70 or 80 or 90, but once you are taking a diversion on the left side or on the right side, you will be actually reducing your speed. So in the similar manner for train operations also, whenever the train is coming into the platform, the driver is supposed to reduce the speed. So what are the factors? How these factors will affect? All that will be the part of sample question. What speed he can come, where he will stop, and how much, what will be the braking distance. So there are a lot of technical factors involved.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Going forward on this, so let us talk about a scenario wherein you enroll for this coaching program and do not clear module A. So we will be doing an internal assessment with you, and if you qualify that internal assessment conducted by Railway Academy, we will also be issuing you a certificate in Railway Control Engineering Fundamentals. So that you could actually utilize this certificate to explore better career opportunities in the industry. Railway Academy certificates are recognized by industry in India and abroad both. So most of our students have utilized these certificates to showcase their knowledge and talent to companies and obtain better job and career prospects. So this will be also helpful, which after enrollment into this course program, even if you do not qualify module A, you'll still be getting a completion certificate from us, provided you qualify our assessment, which will be conducted by us, which will be an assessment supervised by Krithivasan sir. And once you qualify that, you will get this certificate. So this is an add-on advantage. Now talking about the fee details, the course fees is 35,000 rupees inclusive of taxes, but there is a special offer that we are promoting till 15th of July, which is that if you enroll before 15th of July 2022, you will get this entire course for 22,000 rupees only, which is a very significant discount that we are offering for early bird registrants. If you're registering in a group, for example, if you have a colleague group or a company, we are getting a group registration from a company with 3+ registrations, there is an additional discount of 2,000 rupees, and people who will be registering in a group of 3 or more, they will be getting a discount of 20,000 plus. They'll be getting this entire course, 20,000 rupees inclusive of taxes per individual registrations. For that, you need to WhatsApp me on the number shown here or email us on inquiry@railwayacademy.org. For people who would like to enroll into through an EMI offer, they can pay 11,500 and join the course and pay the remaining EMI, the other EMI during the tenure of the course program. So for that also link is being given. I'll be sharing this entire brochure along with the recording of today's presentation with you. Maybe next 24 hours, you will get it. So you can utilize. So now talking about the most important element or that what is cashback on IRSC Module A exam fees. So the offer that we are rolling out is that you can get cashback of 5,000 rupees by sharing your IRSC Module A registration details with us. What does this mean? So this exam is in October. So and the deadline to register is 31st of July. So all those people who will be taking up the exam in October can share their registration completion details with us, and we will offer you additional 5,000 discount on the special offer. So this special offer till 15th of July is 22,000 rupees. If you'll share your registration completion details for October exam, you will get additional 5,000 on this value. So you will be getting it for 17,000 rupees inclusive of taxes if you'll register before 15th of July. So now important thing is that this offer is only limited to first 10 enrollments. So you'll have to really hurry on this, and it is only valid for first 10 enrollments only. So for people who will be actually sharing the registration details of IRSE Module A with us, will be getting this discount on the special fee. So you will get this course for 17,000 rupees inclusive of taxes. Group registration fees, you'll get it for 15,000 rupees. This cashback will not be applicable for EMI scheme. So you'll have to complete your payment in full. Now, if you have any queries, you can contact me. We also have another video whose QR code is there, where we've actually tried to answer 20+ questions which are related to IRSC certification exams. We conducted this entire session last year. This is also a very valuable session conducted by Krithivasan sir, which you can refer to know about this. But I think that today's presentation is more than enough to know everything about the license exams. If you have any queries, you can WhatsApp me on the number shown here or email us. And now, without taking any more time, I would request Krithivasan sir to share the remaining part of the presentation.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just would like to know, as sir shares his presentation, so how many of you are interested to know about the details of BCD examinations? Please type in yes in the chat box so that I know that you're engaged with the presentation right now. Please type in yes if you if you're interested to know about BCD exam details. Yeah, please. Okay. Gopi Shetty, Kamlesh Kumar, Saya, Ramesh Simon, Mukesh Kumar, Abu Hasnat, Paresh Borkar, Imran Khan. Okay. Alok Ranjan. Okay, that's good enough, sir. I think we've got a lot of people who are interested in this. Andre is interested, Mohammed Ansari is. So I think
Yeah,
we can.
right.
Please
Yeah,
go.
okay. No, this will not take much time, just because module A, we have already explained a lot of rules and policies and principles. So now, I hope I'm clear. I hope you're able to hear me.
Please
Yeah,
go to the slideshow mode.
yeah, just. Yeah, just hold on. You know, why I lost it. Yeah. Is it okay?
Sir,
Hello.
not yet visible, sir. We can try it again.
Okay. No, no.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Let me see. Let me close this off. I don't know what happened.
Now visible, I think you need to open the presentation. That's it.
My presentation is already there. Stop sharing.
So click
Stop
on
sharing.
share screen, yes.
Let me see now. Yeah, but I'm not able to come to that.
Sir, click on share screen. You'll see the presentation in open format. The file would be opened and then you can click on this and then click share again.
Yeah, okay. Let me close now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Click on share screen and you will see the presentation slide.
I'm able to.
Yes, sir. Now, right hand side below, slideshow. Right side, just yes. Besides the book. Next one, sir. Next one. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So hope you are able to see this. Now, this is regarding module B, C, and D. All modules must be passed to obtain the IRSE professional examination. So if you need to pass the professional, then you will need to pass B, C, and D also, along with the A. Now, next is this module builds on the broad understanding of module A. So first you will need to understand module A and then only appear for module B. Without passing module A, you cannot appear for module B. It is very clear. broad understanding of principles and practices associated with the safety and system engineering of railway train control and telecom. It also includes the competence of individuals who work on such systems. So that means you should be working on such system, then only you should be able to perform better in module B. The practices explored in the module apply to both development and proving of railway principles and their application within a particular scheme. So within a particular scheme, how the principles are applied and how their applications, that is what is discussed in this module. So we'll very quickly go through what are the items in this module. So what you will be able to demonstrate, once you have passed module B, you will be able to demonstrate the knowledge of management systems and techniques covered by this module by answering specific questions related to syllabus topics and being able to prepare example plans or documents to address the areas covered. So you should be able to prepare a system specification, apportion requirements to different subsystems, compile a safety plan, identify the key content of a system engineering management plan, explain how to configure the system to achieve safety, reliability, and cost effectiveness, calculate the reliability and availability of a system, explain how to apply the techniques for hazard identification, risk assessment, and mitigation, produce a system integration test plan, define the process for ensuring safety during selected activities, and explain how to manage staff competence. So this is all with regard to module B examination. So it looks to be a bit tough, but once you understand the syllabus and start preparing, it is not going to be much tough. But preferably if you are working in any system, any installation or any, any design or any software update or something, then this will be more and more helpful. So what is a system specification? There is a system specification for each and every system. Even in your house also, if you purchase any television, they give a system specification to say that what it can do, what it cannot do, what channels it will receive, what are the adjustments and all that. So like that, you should be able to prepare a system specification. Then apportion requirements to different subsystems. So each system will have a different subsystems. So what are the subsystems? What are the work of each subsystem? What it does? What function it does? What is its overall efficiency and how it works, what information, what indication, and how it is going to interact with different other systems. Then compile a safety plan for a relevant activity. You need to write a safety plan also, how you will implement it. Identify the key contents and how to configure the system. Reliability, availability of system. Explain how to apply techniques for hazard identification, risk assessment, and mitigation. All this in general language we also do every day. If you're driving a scooter every day, you see your fuel level before you start, you see your battery level before you start, in order not to have any risk of that scooter or the vehicle stopping in between your journey. Hazard identification, yes, you check for your brakes, you check for your lights, your left side light, your right side light, your blinkers, whatever it is. Every day we do it, but we don't take this very seriously. And sometimes we say, okay, even if it is not there, I'll manage. But when you do something like that for railway signaling or railway system, you need to take a lot of precautions. So managing is difficult, should be avoided, and we should always go by the procedure and the process and the principles. So let us not take a bit relaxed attitude to say that, okay, we can manage. Produce a system integration plan, define the process for ensuring safety during selected activities, and explain how to manage staff competence. So this is with regard to module B. And then there is a module C. So this also builds on your module A knowledge, and further it goes into railway communication system. So explain how to apply communication system principles with specific operating requirements and track layouts. Develop method of proving that specific application meets a required performance specification. Identified safety risk associated with signaling arrangement and potential mitigating measures. Prepare test plans to demonstrate that the train control conforms to the relevant railway control and communication principle. Describe the techniques for securing open and closed communication. Identify potential system for compatibility and integration risk. Describe how radio systems are designed and explain the principles of how emergency call areas are configured. So these is module C, more with regard to communication, railway control and communication system. This is module C. And this is module D. So there it was only principles. Here module D is applications, how it is applied. So once again, it stresses on broad understanding of module A and assesses the student's understanding of the factors to be considered when applying to items of railway control and communication equipment. So these are certain functional specification, discuss with the example of available equipment, select railway and control and communication equipment for specific to meet requirements of safety, reliability, availability, and maintainability, and design signaling and telecom solution for area of railway, prepare interlocking and control tables, prepare an aspect sequence, and prepare an analysis of safety and reliability of an item of equipment, including production of fault trees or similar for a given equipment or subsystem. So this is module D, module C, and module B. But all this only when you pass module A. So once you pass module A, then you can go for B, C, and D. So this year, of course, I am not proposing any module B, C, and D, but next year, definitely I will take up module B, C, and D training for interested candidates with whatever rules apply at that time. So you can contact the Railway Academy for that. So we will be taking module B, C, and D, almost similar 42 hours or 45 hours. And we'll have model exams. So this is with regard to the IRSE modules. Once you have completed all this 4, then you will be given an IRSE diploma. Lifetime membership, you need to follow. All right, so this we already said. Yeah. So once all 4 modules must be passed to obtain the IRSE professional examination. Passing of module A is a qualification on its own right. So if you pass module A, it is separate. And for those who wish to take the highest level of professional examination, a prerequisite for IRSE modules B, C, and D. So B, C, D will give you IRSE professional examination along with A. But A is separate. You can pass A and forget it, or you can pass A, B, C, D and get your professional examination and also improvement in your career. And IRSC is now recognized by all the world organizations. A lot of companies, they actually look for IRSC resources. They look for IRSC competency, and you can have very, very bright field. Right. So now, that's where, because we have now completed the modules and all that, we'll just go into what is a license. Now, a lot of people are aware of what is license. So any question answers for module B and C, D?
I'll take just one question, which I think is after which module IRSE membership can be awarded?
No, there is no need for any modules.
Yes, sir.
You can just become a member based on your work experience and based on your technical qualification.
But I would like to add here, but if you wish to complete all the module exams after module A, you will have to take up IRSE membership in order to become eligible to take up BCD exam.
Exactly. Yes. So BCD compulsory membership is required. But if you are not taking your membership, then you will be able to only sit for IRSE module A.
Right. So we can take up the license part.
Yeah. Yeah. So now this is license. Of course, everybody knows what is license. Driving license, 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, heavy vehicle, light vehicle, whatever it is. So license gives you a competency to do a particular activity. Yes, correct. But a competent activity with all the safety conditions. By giving you a 2-wheeler license, the RTO or the traffic persons, they expect you to follow certain rules, not create accidents, and not drive when you're not eligible due to either alcohol drinking or whatever it is. So In the same way, IRSC license also gives you certain privileges. Once you are licensed, it gives you the competency. It says to others that yes, he is competent. He has been checked by us and he is competent to do a particular activity. And license activity, sorry, a designer activity with an IRSC license carries a lot of responsibility. You are responsible for the designs that you do. You are responsible for the design that you sign. You are responsible for the design that you give out at site for the work to be done. And your responsibility does not end with only the work or the signing of the sheet. Your responsibility lies till it is safely brought into service. So you may do the design correctly, but while installing, that person has done some mistake, then you will have to justify to say that while I did, the design was correct and the principles were followed, but while installation, there was a mistake which was caused in this unsafe condition. So IRSC license, there are different categories of license. You can have drawing designer license, you can have assistant designer, you can have senior designer, you can have verifier, you can have, even for testing also, they have different licenses. Testing license is there, installation license is there, maintenance also. So licenses are for every field of the railway activity. So just have a look into it. IRSC is an organization which issues various licenses for the signaling activity and enables the railway signaling industry to maintain the integrity of the signaling works and system and employ competent persons for the project or activity. Now, this is what is very, very important. Everybody now looks for competent person. They are not going to take anybody who is walking on the road or anybody who has passed out from the university. They are not going to take into direct employment. Everybody is going to look for competency to say that, are you competent? Have you gone through the process and are you aware of, have you done some work? Then only you are deemed as competent. Otherwise, only having a degree certificate, it may not lead to much success. So competency is must. Like when you employ somebody, you are always looking for competency. Even your maid servant also, you look whether she has worked at many places and what she doesn't. So in similar manner, competency is one of the most essential project companies. Everybody looks for competency. Is he competent? Has he done something similar earlier? Then yes, fine. So how the competency is done? This is done by assessment and issue of competency licenses based on an individual's ability to perform and understand. So what you need to perform and understand the rules, regulations, and relevant standards. So there are certain rules, there are certain regulations, and there are certain standards. So all this, if you follow, then they will assess you and certify you as competent. Over a two-wheeler license, when you go to the RTO, what that fellow does, he either gives you blankly without doing any check, which he normally should not do. And now most of the places it is not there. But he asks you to drive. He asks you to drive at different speed limits. He asks you to put a brake at different timing to see how much are you aware of and how much you are able to control your vehicle. With all this, then he will give you the final certificate. So a license means he is certifying you competent to do a particular activity. IRSC also does the same. You are deemed competent to do a particular activity. It is a continuous process. Every day when you take the scooter outside, your driving license is still valid. It is not that you pass once and you forget. It's not like your 10th standard exam or a 12th standard exam where you just pass and forget. Nobody now recollects what they have read in the 10th standard and 12th standard. But when you have a driving license or like that, when you have a designer license, every day your activity is based on whatever you do. You should keep a record of it, what you do, how you have done, what instructions, who has given you what instructions to do something. So like a driving license is a continuous. Every time you sit on the vehicle, your driving license will always remind you to be safe. Be safe, drive correctly, brake at the correct instant, do not overrun, do not overshoot, do not exceed the speed limit. So like that, the IRSC license will also keep on reminding you valid, giving you information and give you authority also to do the work. It is a continuous process, and you ensure that you continue to do that particular activity as a part of your profession, and improve your competency and renew your license based on the work done and supportive evidence. So every time you'll have to renew this license. This license is valid for only 5 years. Once you get an IRSC designer license, it is valid for 5 years. After 5 years, you should go for a renewal. And in the renewal, they'll be asking you what you have done for the past 5 years, what are the designs you have done, what you have checked, and how much you have checked, and what effort you have done, whatever it is. So all that evidences, with that, they will renew your certificate. Now from assistant designer, you can go into designer, and from designer, you can go with senior principal designer, and then a design verifier. So like that, there are different levels of licenses. Your activity also will improve, your competency also will improve. So IRSC licensing scheme provides an assurance about competency of individuals to carry out technical, safety critical or safety related work on signaling and railway telecom equipment and system. So it can be safety critical or it can be safety related. So what is the difference between safety critical and safety related? It's itself a very big topic. We will discuss in the module A once, and then module B, C, and D. Every time we'll keep on discussing what is safety critical and what is safety related. It provides a cross-industry accepted benchmark of competence for personnel carrying out a range of activities from maintenance through design. See, it gives for maintenance, it gives for design, it gives for installation, it gives for testing, it gives for project engineering, and also senior technical management. So licenses are there for every category. It is there for maintenance, it is there for design, it is there for installation, it is there for testing, project engineering. And what are the obligations of license holders? All this is there in the IRSC website. So you just click there, you will. The scheme has been designed to meet the requirements of international standard for personal certification and is accredited to that standard within the UK. So IRSC certified not only looks for is a valid licensing to work in UK, but it is also now valid right through the world. A lot of companies, they need all IRSC competent people. Even Indian Railways also now they are insisting that IRSC competent designers will check the designs before it is implemented at site. So IRSC now is becoming a worldwide requirement. Competence standard for a wide range of signaling and telecom have been prepared by a number of expert working groups. So every time they will keep on revising what is the requirements for different groups. The competence assessment checklist. So there are different checklists which will list the competency assessment. So needed to carry out any particular category or type of work. For example, the license categories for signal maintenance include assistant maintainer, fault finder, and maintenance manager. So if you are into maintenance, then there are 4 categories: assistant maintainer, fault finder, and maintenance manager. So this is IRSC license, and this is totally different from IRSC modules. IRSC modules will give you diploma in railway engineering once you pass A, B, C, and D. A will give you a separate certificate for control engineering. B, C, and D will improve your competence, and that has got nothing to do with license. License means you are doing a particular activity, a design, or a maintenance. And if you have both, if you have passed out module A, B, C, and D, and along with whatever license you have, maybe installation license or maintenance license, then you will be really you will be really exclusive in your field, and you will have a lot of weightage. Individuals are assessed against competence standards using a 2-stage assessment process. So there is a 2-stage assessment process to ensure impartial collection and review of evidence, and on successful completion of the process, a license for those specific categories of work is issued by the IRSC. So once you pass through the 2 stages of assessment, then you are given the license. Then there is a logbook is used to record the details of training, qualification, and work experience. License holders are required to maintain their logbook, and assessors will want to see it to provide evidence during the assessment process. So you will need to maintain a record of what you are doing, so that whenever you need to process for license, they will look into your logbook and see what evidences you have, and then suggest whether you are okay for that license or whether you are okay for a higher category of license based on the work you do. People doing work may make errors. Yes, So when you do a work, there may be some errors. So what happens to that? Sometimes the error is quite severe, and there is a facility to record any significant complaints in the logbook. So logbook has got a paragraph where your error will be recorded. But recording of error does not mean end of anything. It only means that they will have to take some remedial action. And if a complaint has been made and the result of subsequent investigation, remedial action also to be taken. So they will say that, okay, 6 months you will not do any design, or you will not check any design, or you will do it under mentorship. And once you are found competent, then your license will be restored back. So this enables a license holder to demonstrate how a competent level of performance has been regained so that it can be renewed in subsequent assessment. In more serious cases, a recommendation to revoke a license may also be made to the IRSC. But a license is revoked only after an independent review of circumstances, and there is also an appeals process. So just like a driving license getting revoked, and then you say, no, I was not to blame, and the vehicle ahead was to blame, or the vehicle in rear, with all the sufficient evidences, then maybe your driving license, you may get it back. In the same way, an IRSC designer license or an competent design verifier license, you will be restored back to you once they justify as to where this error has occurred. And if you're not responsible, then they will not take any action. And even if you're responsible, then they will put you under mentorship for 6 months or 1 year and make you competent. So revocal of license is very, very rare. And these are the categories of license for design. There's a 1.1, 500, 510, 550, 600, and 100 for team leader. So like that, there are other for testing also. And these are the competence assessment checklist. So signaling has got different: telecom, engineering, management, signaling and telecom, factory installation, power supply and distribution, and technical investigation. So these are different competent assessment checklist. And if you think that you are falling into any of these categories, just click this. You will get the requirements that you need to fulfill to get this license, and you can start filling the requirements. And if you have any doubt, then you can revert back to me or to the academy. We can help you in filling up the evidences for the license process. Okay, any questions, answers?
Yes, sir. So, sir, I'll take up the question. So,
Yeah.
sir, one question I would like to ask you, sir. Sir, how should one decide whether he should go for the license or he should go for module exams? If there is a
No.
what
Those two are different. License does not require you to take any module examination.
Yes, sir.
Module examination does not want you to take any license. Both are not dependent on each other.
But sir, no, sir. I'm just trying to ask here is that, for example, if I am a working professional working in railway signaling for let's suppose 5 years, so now, so which one should be more suitable at the individual level? Because
No, if you see, it is like this. If you are working in design, then for you a designer license or a senior designer license will be more useful because you are working in railway signaling design. But if you are maintaining, or if you are only managing the installation or as a project management, then IRSC license will not be much useful. You will be better equipped to get the module knowledge.
okay, so this is, I think, would be very valuable. So I would just like to add here, for all those who are still feeling confused whether to go for license or to go for module exam, sir has actually given a very important input here. If you're working in signaling design or a significant technical competence field, then licenses make a lot of sense. But if you're working in project management or recently started a career in railway signaling, so taking up membership module exams will make much more sense to you, your career on an individual basis. And second point I like to add here, like usually the license costs are way higher compared to the module exam fees. So
Yes.
a lot of corporates, companies bear the licensing costs for their employees. So,
correct. With an agreement also to say that if you leave within certain period, that you need to give back the license cost.
yes, exactly, sir. That is definitely there. Now, taking up question from Sulabh Bansal. Okay, how we can take IRSC membership and what are the tasks for maintaining logbook? So I think this will call for a separate session. We are running short of time today. As sir has already explained that you can take up IRSC memberships without appearing in any module exam. Am I correct here?
Yes, yes. You can take an IRSC membership, don't appear for any module, don't appear for any license, but you will become a member and you will be updated with all the technical knowledge and all that. That is separate.
So you can go to IRSC website, click on the membership sections, apply for membership, and you will get it.
Yeah, but the membership form you will have to download and your manager will have to certify that you are doing a particular part of railway activity.
Next question is how to maintain logbook and what is the cost of IRSC license? So we can give you a ballpark estimation, sir. Can we give him a rough estimation on IRSC?
Yeah, rough estimate will be around £2,000 per license.
Okay.
Where there will be a competency assessment, there will be a workplace assessment, and there will be a competency assessment. But for this, you would need to actually do that particular work, and your manager should be satisfied that you would need a license to progress further.
So Kiran Kumar, there is a Kiran Kumar is planning a switch from mechanical design to signaling. So would IRSE Module A exam be helpful for me? Yes, but before you have to acquire knowledge in signaling. So I believe Kiran Kumar is already doing a course with us in signaling. So so once you complete the course program, we can register for October exam and try to qualify the exam, right? And Muhammad Ansari Sheikh is asking, do we need to submit NOC for license or module exam?
No.
No, nothing of this sort.
No, nothing of this sort.
Right. So I think, sir, we are done with the questions, and I would like to thank you on behalf of Railway Academy for taking up this wonderful session for all the people who are willing to explore IRSC module exams or licenses and are making up their minds to appear in the October exam.
Exactly.
Right.
So persons who are actually, who are not in the particular relevant field for licenses, they can improve their knowledge by appearing for the modules, and that will give them enough market value to justify that they know the railway standards, rules, and regulations.
Sir, I would just like to add one more thing for the participant. If you're not working in signaling design, I think IRSE Module A exams would make a lot of sense or value addition to your career.
Yeah, correct. Right. Because you will not only come to know about signaling, you will also know communication and how controls and how the systems are working. Yeah.
So anybody who's not working in signaling design profiles can really consider taking up IRSE Module A exams to differentiate themselves from the usual crowd of engineers and also grab better opportunities in railway signaling fields. And Kiran Kumar, the course fees, we've said that there is a special offer going on right now of this course is being made available to you at 22,000 rupees inclusive of taxes. And if you share your IRSC exam registration receipts with us, we will give you a further discount of 5,000 rupees. So you can get this course for 17,000 rupees if you register before 15th of July. We'll be commencing the classes from 1st of August. So I think that everybody who's here, who's presently not into signaling design should consider taking up this exam. It is only going to be costing you close to about 11,000 rupees. But if you take this up, you'll be able to differentiate yourself from thousands of other signaling engineers who are working in this field. And there are a lot of companies who are putting a lot of emphasis on people who possess these these certificates.
Yeah, very true.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for your thank you for your time, and I'm thankful to all the participants who've actually invested their 2 hours with us and have asked wonderful questions today. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening ahead. Thank you, Krithivasan.
Yeah, if you still have some questions, you can drop us an email. We can try to answer every one of them. But overall, as Sumit has said, welcome to join this Module A training and further improve your career. License can wait. License is only if you're in a specific work where the company also insists for license to say that, okay, I want you to be IRSE licensed, then that's a different story. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Surendra Gowda has one question, sir. Surendra, ask your question swiftly so that we could close the session today. This will be the last question for today's session. Suresh, please ask your question. Surendra Gowda, please ask your question.
Hello.
Hello, Surendra.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Tell me.
Sir, I'm Surendra Gowda, working in Indian Railways as a senior section engineer signal
Okay.
at East Coast Railway, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Presently, I have 6 years of experience after the IRSE training.
Yeah.
I'm presently working in maintenance and management, project management of the maintenance system. Sir, I
Okay.
want to ask you that if I go for this level A exam, is there any value of my IRSE certificate which I have got?
No, there is no use of your IRSE past certificates.
Yes, sir.
There is no use of that certificate in this. IRSC does not recognize those certificates, but that will only help you to have you understand your knowledge and have a better chance of passing this examination.
Sir, actually, I have gone through IRSE membership options. In
Yeah.
that, for associate member, it is required that gazetted officer course from Secunderabad, IRSE Secunderabad, and Module A exam.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. So you will need to
Correct
pass
what
this
I'm
module B
asking,
exam.
sir. Yes, sir. But this course certificate which I have got from IRSE Secunderabad, sir, is that equivalent to gazetted officer course?
No,
Because
that
we
is
are
not
doing the
equivalent.
same course.
No. That IRSC certificate, what sorry, that gazetted officer certificate, what they are saying is for gazetted officers who are directly coming into IRSSC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is not valid for us. We need to pass the module A examination.
Module A exam, and I have an engineering degree, postgraduate engineering degree, that will suffice in getting the membership.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.